It's rewind time.
Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on The Flash Season 5.
Yeah.
Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on The Flash Season 5.
Yeah.
Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Pagey, here once again with another video on The Flash Season 5. Wait, I feel like I've said that before. What the hell's going on?
Yeah. It's rewind time.
Okay, I don't know what's going on, but let's just continue. I feel like I'm just repeating myself. Anyway, hey guys, what's up? It's me, Pagey, here once again with another video on The Flash Season 5. And this is going to be my review for episode 14 for this season, otherwise entitled Cause and Excess. Otherwise a play on Cause and Effect. Yeah. But of course, spoiler alert, if you've not watched the episode, go watch it, then come back to this video later on, because we're going to be talking about everything that happened in this episode. And, yeah. But of course, last episode, I think the thing that really carries on into this episode was Iris going to Orange Wire or Cicada's house, triggering him, stabbing him with the pen, and now Cicada's basically on a, well, I'm gonna get you back for stabbing me with a pen. And that's basically how this episode starts off. Well, not starts off, but what leads into the episode. But we start off the episode by seeing Cisco sort of, I wouldn't say cyber stalking Camilla, but at least looking at her work, and he's very impressed by her photography and stuff like that. And it's to the point where he thinks maybe he's a bit too good for her, and Cisco's like doing that typical like, oh, she's too cool for me, or she's too, just too good for me. That's the best way to put it. But during this, the cure is like sort of finished, I guess, like that. It's 29 days away from being properly finished and usable. But that's why it's being taken into the Speed Force by Barry. So Barry is gone for literally like 90% of the episode. I think he was on his honeymoon. Grant Gustin, who plays Barry, got married end of last year, and I think during this period he went on his honeymoon, so that's why he's not in this episode. I might be wrong, but that's what I think was going on here. I think he went on his honeymoon, and yeah. But we do see the Book of Ralph return, and more specifically the section of The Art of Love. Cisco's like begging for help, not wanting to use it, and really the Book of Ralph is what I guess allows Cisco to be a help in this situation, but it's also detrimental to Cisco throughout this episode. So Ralph, the Book of Ralph worked once for Cisco's like when he was down and out, but this time, I don't know, maybe the Art of Love shouldn't be a section in there, maybe remove that chapter, I don't know. But that first date that Cisco had with Camilla, straight Flashpoint references, like Cisco's dressed like he was in Flashpoint. He even calls his thing Ramon Industries. He's basically just acting like Flashpoint Cisco, which I thought was pretty funny. I like the little references there. But the big issue with all of these situations where Cisco's going on all these dates due to what happens in this episode is that he's trying not to be Cisco, because, as I said, he thinks that Camilla might be a bit too good for him, so he's trying to up himself by being what she would usually go for. But the thing is that she's not married, or those guys still aren't her boyfriend. You know, they're out of her life now, so there must be a reason behind that. But obviously Cisco's a bit just too blindsided from that, and is just trying to be something that he's not. Which is a good life lesson, children. You know, be true to yourself. Don't try and be something that you're not, because eventually you'll be found out. But that's where we get into the main, I guess, story for this episode, where we see Cicada capture Iris, take her to a rooftop, and his whole main plan, I guess, is to kill Killer Frost, and he succeeds in that. Nora ducked in that situation. I was like, Nora, you ducked. You allowed Caitlin to die, for Killer Frost to die. But I guess they have to have Nora survive, because who's gonna go, it's rewind time. I suck at it. You do it, Will Smith.
Yeah. It's rewind time.
So we rewind, and we're back, and Nora diverts Iris, and instead Ralph is captured, and it's not Caitlin that dies again of Killer Frost. It's Ralph. Ralph dies, and yeah, once again, Will Smith, take it again.
Rewind time.
And then we see Nora divert Iris and Ralph, and then Sherlock is captured, but then who dies? Who dies? Cisco dies. He manages to get there in time because he starts vibing on these sequences and just gets the feeling that he has to go. So Cisco's able to get there in time, but unfortunately he dies. I guess it could be a big question mark about how Iris never dies in this episode. Anyway.
Rewind time.
But we see like Nora freaking out. She's like, oh, I'm such an idiot. And I'm like, yeah, you are an idiot. Like, God. This was like one of those episodes where we've been talking about this all season. With Nora, they just make her look like the biggest idiot ever and just a literal child. And I can understand her freaking out, but, you know, once again, they just represent Nora in a really bad way, like to the point where you really want to like Nora, and I still like Nora to a degree, but then she just does stupid stuff where you're like, seriously. Anyway, like really from the get-go, after probably when Ralph died, she should have at least approached maybe her mother, or maybe someone like, you know, Cisco or something like that, or Caitlin, who's been around there for a long time. Like obviously I can understand avoiding Ralph because what's he gonna do? But anyone else, like approach them, be like, oh well, I've stuffed up here. I'm not gonna be able to do it. Not gonna be able to figure this out myself. Why did she do that from the get-go? But I guess this brings up an issue with Team Flash. Like surely they would have been able to realize sooner than they did that Nora was time traveling. Why did it take so long for them to realize that at least something was up with Nora? Like even from the first one after Killer Frost dies, when she comes in, she's sort of freaking out and Sherlock notices her. Surely it should have been brought up then. Like surely like someone else would have noticed it. Like it's not like she was acting normally, like she was sort of freaking out. So it's weird that Team Flash didn't pick up on it, but I guess plot, they have to have the episode move along, so I guess that's the reasoning behind it. I wasn't expecting a Cecile cameo, but because everyone's safe in Star Labs, Cecile is actually the one that's captured and killed. There's your little, I think it was like, I'm not even joking, she must have been on screen for like 10 seconds for this episode. So they must have just filmed that after the fact when she came back for another episode. But yeah, there's Cecile's little 10 seconds of fame for the episode. Pretty random.
Rewind time.
But we find out this whole thing's happened 52 times. Obviously, chucking a little, 52 reference in there because DC Comics. But yeah, that's a lot of times, Nora. I think that's probably like 50 more times than it should have been before Team Flash found out. Now, they do find out themselves. It's never explained how they find out. I thought they were going to go, okay, Cisco's been telling us that he's been vibing on these situations. But that's not the case. Cisco says he does, but that's after the fact when like Nora explains it. I was like, oh, that's why I've been having all these like deja vu and vibing all these different events and stuff like that over the past hour. It's because Nora keeps going back in time. There was a bit of an issue around whether she was time traveling or reversing time, because like the design, I guess you'd call it, of how Nora travels through time or goes back to that point in time, like almost like it's a closed loop, was different from time travel. So was she reversing time? It's sort of confusing because Sherlock says time travel, and then I think it's Iris says reversing time. They don't necessarily always say rewind. So it was sort of confusing. Like, I think we're just meant to believe that she just goes back to this point using her abilities, and they don't really specify whether it's time travel or this rewind reversing ability. She does use this rewind ability later on, but it's never specified that she's doing that all the time in those 52 various points when she's going back and replaying these events. So yeah, if they did, let me know, but I don't think they did. I had a discussion in my Discord where apparently they didn't say it. So if they did say it, let me know. Now we did have that, we went back to the rooftop. We had that final rewind time against Cicada. This scene for me, I thought was a bit messy. I don't think it really made sense. I think they were basically like, let's just put a lot of cool stuff on screen and hopefully no one questions it. I didn't think it made 100% sense. I don't think this episode as a whole made 100% sense. It makes sense saying that, but it just doesn't sound right. Anyway, 100% sense this episode did not make. Am I speaking English? This episode has frazzled my brain. I think I've rewound time so much that I'm just confused by everything. But this episode as a whole, I don't think it made that much sense. And I think this rooftop scene was like the cherry on top. We're just seeing I think the best analogy, some of you guys love my analogies. I think the analogy I'm going to use for this episode in regards to that final scene was, a paint bucket, a big wide bucket. People put paint in it and stir and stuff, and they might paint a house or something like that. Someone's got a big bucket of that, and they've gone to the hardware shop and bought, I don't know, maybe 7. We'll go 8. We'll add in pink as that 8th color. They've gone and got all these colors, red, blue, green, yellow, purple, red, pink. We'll chuck a bit of pink in there, some white, and what's the last color we'll go with? Orange? Did I say orange? We'll chuck an orange there. And they've chucked this all into a big paint thing, stirred it up. It looks like crap. If you mix all those colors together, it's not going to look good. And they've just gone, okay, everyone, don't get your paint brushes, just get your hands and stick it in the paint and just go like that at the wall. That's almost like what that scene was. I just looked at it and I was like, this is giving me a headache and it just doesn't look good, and I don't think it makes that much sense. If it made sense to you, then cool, but I'm looking and I'm like, okay, this just is a bit confusing in regards to what we already know, and what they're trying to present on screen just doesn't make too much sense to me. But Anyway, that was like them using the rewind ability, but certain things weren't rewinding, so it was sort of confusing. And then the whole thing, the typical meme of the season. Cicada is stabbed. Why is no one capturing him? Why is Killer Frost not like freezing his hands and legs to the ground? Why is like Cisco not breaching him into a Star Labs cell? Don't let him get away. He's gonna recover and he's gonna come back and probably kill someone. Capture him, but he gets away. So, meme of the season continues. But we do get a nice ending to the episode, or towards the end, when Cisco actually does get the right date with Camilla. He actually acts like Cisco, and Camilla's like, you know what? I like this dude. I like the Cisco, the normal Cisco. So that was good. And yeah. Now, there was another big, like, it's not really specific to this episode. It's more to this whole season. But Barry, like, has, like, the season 3 reference when Jay Garrick talks to him, holds a cup up and, like, shatters it. Barry does that to Nora. The irony of that scene is that Barry's like, oh, you can't time travel, it has consequences. And I'm like, Barry, your daughter is here from the future and you're allowing her to stay in the past. What? You know, he's going against what he's saying there. That didn't make too much sense to me. Was I the only one that caught that? I don't know. But we do see Sherlock translating, the notebook, and we're like, okay, what's it going to say? We don't find out, unfortunately. I guess that's the cliffhanger for one of the future episodes. But then we go to 2049, back to Iron Heights, and we see your boy Eobard Thawne, aka the Reverse Flash. And he's basically just talking to Nora to stick to the plan. So the plan is basically to defeat Cicada, destroy his dagger, and save her father. Now, is that going to happen at the end of the season, or will they fail on that mission? Who knows? And they're talking about saving, Barry in regards to 2024, or saving Barry from Cicada. Don't think it's 2024. Don't know why there'd be 2 events they have to save her dad from. Because if he's meant to die in 2024, that means he should survive Cicada. Anyway, so yeah, obviously it's a 2024 event they're doing. But I'm guessing that the cliffhanger for this season, that maybe they save Barry, which avoids some crisis, but then causes crisis to happen early. I don't know. Hopefully it's not messy, because this episode, I really wanted to enjoy this episode. If you watched my trailer breakdown, you would have been like, oh, you wouldn't have been like, but you would have noticed I was excited for this episode. The concept was cool. I think they failed with the concept. The Flash, I think, usually gets concepts right for the most part. If there's an episode and it has a theme, and it has like this really cool just thing that happens, they usually get it right, like Enter Flash Time and stuff like that as an example, or even Out of Time back in season 1, but specifically for more recent seasons, Enter Flash Time last season. I just feel this episode was a bit disappointing. It wasn't terrible. Like, I would still rewatch it. It was just, I think it was messy and it was almost rushed. And I don't know who wrote the episode, but I feel like they maybe didn't get a proper grip on what the powers are on the show and how the powers should be represented and why they should look different. Because the rewind ability, if that's what she was using, as I said, I don't think it was specified in the show, just looked like time travel. They didn't make a cool effect. It just looked like time travel. But it could have been time travel. But I don't know, was it rewind or time travel? That's the issue at hand. So, yeah, it was still a decent episode. Like, I'd still give it like an above average mark, but I think this episode could have been much, much better than it was. And it might sound like I'm complaining. It's just that I was really looking forward to this episode, and I just don't think it lived up to it, unfortunately. But thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, it would be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show your support. Whether if you agree with me, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like and stuff like that. But yeah, let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions on this episode. Do you agree with what I said? Do you disagree with completely? Is this a 10 out of 10 episode? Is it your favorite episode of the season? Let me know in the comments if that's the case. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Flash is on break until March the 5th. So 2 to 3 weeks without Flash, but they did release a new promo, which I will go over tomorrow at some point. But yeah, until then, I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.